Hello everyone, I'm Claire Huddleston. Thanks for joining us tonight. After the April 27th tornado devastated much of Tuscaloosa, city leaders began planning to rebuild. They recently unveiled a 96-page plan to make Tuscaloosa a shining city on a hill. WVUA's Matt McCoy has an in-depth look at what the Druid City might just look like in the years to come.
Alberta, Forest Lake, and the 15th Street and McFarland intersections. These are just a few of the plans to rebuild Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa 4, B&IM consulting firm, and Tuscaloosa residents are all helping to create the future. The plans use 7 big ideas, including a greenway path of revitalization that will incorporate walking, biking, and streams to mark the path of the tornado.
It's something that the community could utilize to enhance their quality of life and increase their healthy lifestyles.
And those pathways will help aid other big ideas, like connecting once segregated communities with neighborhoods that will have a variety of house sizes and prices to help with ever-changing needs of the residents.
What this plan proposes is to have neighborhoods that have a mixture of densities and housing styles so that one could buy an entry-level house and when the time is right in their lives, move up to a larger house or a house that's more suitable for their growing needs and stay within that same neighborhood.
And to better serve each community, governmental buildings will be built near each other and educational facilities will be grouped together. For instance, a community library might be attached to a public school.
I think it's just to provide something to the community that they didn't have before. And this is how you build back vibrant communities. You want to give residents a place to come back to.
To get around these new communities, some of the main roads will get a facelift, like 15th Street and 10th Avenue. You may also see village centers popping up. These will be hubs for shops and restaurants. City leaders hope they bring energy and excitement to affected areas.
This plan suggests that we have mixed-use villages where residents have the commercial needs that they need for their daily lives. So in other words, you don't separate the grocery store from where you live.
The last part of the plan calls to rebuild Tuscaloosa with character representative of each district. Reporting for WVUA News, I'm Matt McCoy.
The city is hosting a community preview of the plans. It's this Saturday, July 23rd at Central High School in the gymnasium. It will be a come-and-go event. It starts at noon and runs until 5 o'clock. Members of the task force will be on hand to answer questions. Today is the last day for tornado survivors to apply for federal aid and small business loans. The phone lines have already closed, but you can still apply online before midnight. For a shortcut to FEMA's website, go to WVUATV.com and click numbers and links. In Tuscaloosa, about 12,800 people have registered with FEMA. The Graves family is just one example of how FEMA can help people recovering from the storms. After losing their home in the April 27th tornado, the Graves family didn't know how or where they would live. They applied with FEMA and received a mobile home, which is now their temporary home. The trailer came with a couch, table, chair, and bed. Although the Graves family has a roof over their head, they say they're still in survival mode.
You're going day by day, trying to make sure everybody's okay, that you're strong enough for them. You don't want them to see your weak side right now at all.
Vera Graves says they have to apply to FEMA every month to stay in the mobile home. The band Kings of Leon has created a relief fund for tornado recovery in the Southeast. Most of the fund will go to Alabama for long-term recovery efforts. Kings of Leon is performing July 26th at the Wharf in Orange Beach. The proceeds from this concert will go directly to their recovery fund. After the April 27th tornadoes flattened entire neighborhoods, one surprising sign of new life has popped up in the Cedar Crest neighborhood. This single stalk of corn is now growing in an area that feels like life is almost impossible. The Cedar Crest neighborhood took a direct hit on April 27th. Former Tuscaloosa Mayor Al DuPont lives near Cedar Crest. He says the strange phenomenon shows the sheer strength of the storm.
I wasn't too surprised because I had in my utility room back there, I had a lot of seeds that I had to garden in here myself, and it gets scattered all over the place. And I had some corn seeds over there, so it must have been the hurricane just scattered the seeds over there.
The stalk of corn is about 2 feet tall. Well, we've seen a little bit of rain to help that corn stalk grow. With a first look at Alabama's home team forecast, here's Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott.
Hey Claire, no rain out there tonight, but we have had plenty of rain over the past few days, no doubt about that. 78 right now, dry and mild in Tuscaloosa, 79 Birmingham, 78 degrees Montgomery. If you've been outdoors, you notice it's kind of warm out there, but it's not that humid, and that's one thing we're going to notice at least tonight, but tomorrow that all begins to change. At least the humidity starts to return a bit. 89 by lunch tomorrow. 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at 95. We do have some more good rain chances in the forecast, especially as we go towards Wednesday and Thursday. I'll explain coming up in home team weather. Stay with us.
Thanks, Richard. Dr. Paul McKendrick will officially start his new job as Tuscaloosa City Schools Superintendent September 1st. But for the next few weeks, the Virginia native will come to Tuscaloosa 2 or 3 days a week to get settled into his new position. So how did he spend his first day on the job? WVUA's Leah Knight tells us.
Superintendent Dr. Paul McKendrick spent the first day in his new office meeting staff, taking pictures, and reviewing the school system's status.
Done most of our hiring. I think we're under 15, 20 people to hire. We have an idea of facilities, especially for the 2 schools that were devastated and where the children will be going, and have at the point now of making sure that materials and the logistics of just getting children into the classrooms of the schools.
McKendrick will make $800 every day he works between now and September 1st. After that, his $195,000 a year salary will kick in. McKendrick says waiting to start the job in September was not an option because school begins August 10th.
For me, the imperative is getting school started. And getting school started the first week has to just be exceptional, probably more so than at any other time.
And this year's back to school will be different from any other because of the April 27th tornado.
As bad as that devastation is, I'm excited about the rebuilding of the city and the rebuilding of our school system. I've used the term renaissance and probably will use that for the next 2 to 3 years because I think it will be a rebirth of things that have done, of a system that has done some wonderful things and is trying to get back on its feet.
Even though Dr. McKendrick doesn't yet have a home in Tuscaloosa, he is already in town making sure everything is planned and ready to go for the beginning of a new school year.
I'll be meeting with community members, meeting with board members. I want to get a feel for the community, get an idea of what the community wants and what the needs are. And I'll be using those first 4 to 5 weeks for that purpose.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Leah Knight, WVUA News.
The Tuscaloosa Rotary Club and Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama are hosting a luncheon for McKendrick tomorrow at Indian Hills Country Club. To see if there are still seats available, you can call 205-391-0559. A new student housing development for the University of Alabama will begin construction within the next 2 weeks. The lodge at East Edge will be built between DCH and the University of Alabama Law School. This area was formerly the public housing site Delaware Jackson. It will cost $41 million and house about 775 people. The people who lived at Delaware Jackson had the option of getting $400 to find private housing or move to other assisted housing developments. The lodge at East Edge will open August 2012. Family and friends are remembering a Tuscaloosa man who disappeared during a spearfishing trip. Billy LaGrone's niece tells WVUA a memorial service is planned for tomorrow night at the Church of Tuscaloosa. The visitation will be from 4 to 6, and the memorial service will start at 6. On Friday, July 8th, the 54-year-old was spearfishing with friends about 40 miles off the Orange Beach coast. He went underwater around 9:30 that morning and never resurfaced. These pictures are from a previous spearfishing trip. The longest witness in Alabama's gambling corruption trial will return to the witness stand tomorrow for a 9th day of testimony. Country Crossing lobbyist Jared Massey told jurors he made a $5,000 donation to Alabama Senator Quentin Ross, but Ross never told him a donation would be needed in exchange for his vote on pro-gambling legislation. Ross had always supported electronic bingo. Massey has pleaded guilty in bribery and is working with the prosecution. 9 other people are accused of buying and selling votes on pro-gambling legislation. U.S. District Judge Ira DeMint has died. He passed away Saturday after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. DeMint served as the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Alabama and served as a special counsel for 3 Alabama governors. President George H.W. Bush appointed him to the bench in 1991. DeMint set the rules for Alabama's prison and mental health systems. He's also known for the policy he set on prayer in schools. The funeral is set for Wednesday in Greenwood Cemetery.